You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotimus truly has the touch.
With another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Prime Beast Hunter Deluxe class, Soundwave. As you can see, Soundwave is sporting a new color and a new look for this new Beast Hunters line. You got really nice artwork here on the side. You got a Ravage minifigure included, which is that little dude right there, which I'm kind of curious about because it doesn't look like he comes with Laserbeak anymore, which is kind of strange because you would think you would have him still, but oh well. You got other characters. You got Bumblebee, Wheeljack, Laserback as well. So maybe Laserbeak mutated to Laserback. Who knows? I really find it interesting that they got this little, I don't know exactly what it's called, but you like scan that with your phone and then you go to a website or something like that, but it's for IDW. That's the first time that I've seen that on a Transformer packaging. You got the other characters, well, Autobots, at least in their seasons 1 and 2 look. We haven't seen season 3 yet, so we don't know if these Autobots changed their looks or not. I have a theory, but that's all it is. It's a theory at this point in time. You got a recon drone, you got the mini Ravage. You come up to the top and it says, a fanatic henchman of mighty Megatron who patrols the skies in search of the Autobot enemy. Really kind of lame read-ups on these guys now. I mean, it's not like they couldn't fit more. They just make that a little bit smaller, I guess. And honestly, I don't even know why they bother putting that, because it's like mini Ravage figure, Ravage mini figure. I mean, and then it says it there as well. So that's kind of overkill. They could make the bio bigger if they got rid of that. But overall, I mean, the packaging on here is not too spectacular. It's kind of cool looking. It's very light and happy, I guess, but there's Soundwave. Really kind of cool looking. I'm really kind of interested to see how much they actually change with this, or with the original mold in terms of their design. So let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Soundwave open up out of its packaging and in his recon mode. And as you can see, another vastly different figure than what we got with the original RID version. Now he does have this giant hook thing, and this is his weapon. It's spring loaded. It's got this string on it. As you can see, it's very sensitive on this spring loaded gimmick. I mean, you barely touch that thing and it goes flying. Really kind of cool. He does have this claw thing going on here, which I think some people have said that, like, if you found a way to put like 2 of them underneath here, I don't know where you would plug it in, it really does kind of look like a bird, and he definitely has that kind of look going for him, especially with these little bits right here. It kind of does remind me of some kind of a bird. But again, there is a vast difference between this guy and the RID one. There's a lot that's molded differently on here. I mean, you can start by seeing that this wing bit here on the side is completely different than what we had before. The section right here is actually the same, but this section right up here is actually different. You have this bit here that's molded with these little hook things on here, which is really very cool. The obvious big difference here is the front. I don't even know if you would call this a fuselage. This entire thing is completely different. So the main portion of his legs are remolded. His feet and such, those are pretty much the same. Obviously, he's got different colors on them, and people have already complained about the colors. The colors are different. I don't think they're bad, but they are kind of weird because of the yellow on there, I guess. You know, and then like the thighs are, the same, but we'll cover that kind of stuff when we get to the actual robot mode. This back section here, this is all new. As you can see, this has 3 kind of spiky doodads, whereas this one only has 2. What else? I mean, that's really maybe it, I guess. I mean, this guy has repro label stickers on here, so he's got like Decepticon logos. I like the fact that he's actually got Decepticon logos here. I don't like how they're big and on an angle like that, but it's whatever. At least he has Decepticon logos. Beyond that, though, I mean, you're seeing the differences right here, and this is a much bigger looking kind of jet. Now, I don't usually when I have this guy, I will take these and rotate these out. I just think it looks better as a drone. I know he's got the little fingers on the tip, but I just think it looks better with a much wider wingspan, but I just folded it in, honestly, just because it's easier to kind of keep it in frame here on the camera. With this, though, you can't do that because these extra hook bits here, when you flip this out, These are right there, but when you do it like that, I mean, you can't get it to extend all the way out because of these bits right here. So that looks kind of stupid, but keeping these tucked in actually on this vehicle form doesn't really look all that bad. Really very cool though. He does come with Ravage that as you can see he's plugged in here on the bottom, whereas this guy has a laser beak, which we'll get to here in just a little bit. But beyond that though, there's really not much else different. You got the paint and everything, the design is the same, the transformation is the same, but there was a lot of newly molded parts. Enough that I really think that this is a figure that is definitely worth picking up. I'm really very impressed with all these. You know, you get some remolded figures that just get a new paint job and like a new head, and to me that's kind of a cheap remold. These are definitely not that. There's a lot of extensive differences that are put into these molds than what we got previously with the RID figures, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, as I mentioned, the transformation is pretty much exactly the same. You just want to detach this, and then you can have the super flying jet mode. I did that before. Come around here, you're just splitting these apart like so. Take this, you can rotate these up. You can really do whatever you want with those in terms of the positioning. You can keep them up like this. I think the packaging shows you to put them up, but you can leave them down like that. It's personal preference. And then fold these little bits down, and here you have his legs essentially done. You can kind of angle them a little bit. They swivel a little bit on this joint right up in here, but it's not too much of a difference, but it is enough that it just spreads his legs out just a little bit. And here you have his legs coming up to the top a little bit more. Take this section, fold this back. His head pops out like so. Take this section, tuck that down, rotate this back, and then you can push this back up and kind of keep his head where it's actually upward instead of drooping down like that. This, I'll touch on this here in a little bit, but Ravage actually really helps keep the head up. And take these, bring these all the way up. Those will clip into place, just like so. Take this, rotate these around, untab this, kind of rotate that out, and then grab his hands on the inside here. Those are pegged in the side. Rotate those out just like so. Do that on this side as well. Loosen this up like that and fold this out. And here you have Soundwave in his robot. Oh, well, actually, the instructions say to take Ravage and fold these up just like that. Those are his legs, and we'll get to those here in just a second. But here you have Soundwave in his robot mode. And because I actually forgot to do it in the beginning portion of the video, what I wanted to do again was kind of highlight the instruction manual. And as you can see, again, we have this nice kind of image here of Soundwave. Come down here and you also have his Talon grapple cannon, which snares and instantly disables its targets. Data filaments drain information from the grappled suspect and is powerful enough to crush most subjects after the data drain. Really very cool. And then again, the story for Beast Hunters kind of continues on. And it says there's no transmission so secure that it will not yield to the tender decryption of Soundwave. Such is the case with the conversation between Bumblebee and Wheeljack, and so, within minutes of the two Autobots blasting off for the distant asteroid belt, Megatron and Predaking also set course for the ancient weapons cache. Soundwave remains on Earth patiently monitoring Autobot transmissions, assuring its leader that they are indeed alone. It is an opportunity to not only destroy this pair of Autobots, but also to secure weapons that ensure victory over the rest. An opportunity arranged with patient satisfaction by the Decepticon Data Master. And as you can see, Chapter 3 continues with Laserback, which we'll get to when we do that figure. But as for Soundwave himself, as you can see, a lot of people have really kind of complained about the yellow bits. Now, for me, honestly, I don't think they look all that bad. Yes, they stick out, and yes, they're kind of obvious. But I think it kind of goes along fairly nicely with the rest of the color scheme, I think. I mean, mostly it's in the front and in his joint area. I mean, you got it here in the elbows, you got it here in the knees, and then you have it here in the feet. Now, for comparison, here is the new Beast Hunter version, and here's the original RID one. And again, you're seeing some pretty good differences, mostly with the main big parts. like the arm bits here. Obviously, the front chest area is going to be a little bit different because this is Laserbeak and that's Ravage. And then actually right up in here in the thigh area, this smaller bit right here is actually also new, whereas this is pretty flat and just streamlined. This actually kind of jets out and has more of those spike bits on it. Now, some people were asking about Ravage. Now, first off, here's Ravage. He detaches just like Laserbeak did. He just pegs in there. But to transform him, you just rotate these down, kind of angle these back, and here you have Ravage. And zooming in a little bit, you can see that he actually has a pretty decent sculpt going on with him. And it's nothing too spectacular, but it's definitely Ravage if you ask me. And it looks really cool. I do actually dig it, and my camera keeps wanting to focus on the back there, so I do apologize about that, guys. But one bit that I really do wish, I do wish that these arms and legs were actually black like the rest of his body. I'm just going to move those out of the way. But you can see that it doesn't look all that bad. It's got this nice silver paint on here. Pretty cool looking. And with Laserbeak, you have him, and I honestly, I still don't even know the proper transformation for this thing, to be totally honest with you guys. I don't know. Oh wait, no, it's supposed to be like that. I don't know if that's the front or if that's the front. Honestly, I have no idea. I think that looks like the front to me. I don't know, but you can see they're in pretty good scale with one another. Now, this is the first that I'm trying this, but I'm gonna see right here if it should be able to fit on here, and indeed it actually does. I was actually kind of concerned if it would, because one thing that I'm noticing is these little bits right up here, these are also new. Zooming in just so you can see this, as you can see, this is just the rounded bit right here, whereas this has those spikes going on there. I wasn't actually sure, and that actually looks really cool because it gives him a kind of double opening, like a razor blades kind of on his shoulder. That's really kind of cool looking. But beyond that though, I mean, there's not much difference. Obviously you can see the head is pretty much the same. It's kind of, yeah, it got the softest rubbery plastic. And actually the crest on here looks a little bit smaller than what these are, so that might be a slight remold. And honestly, even looking closer, kind of looks like this silver bit here is different. Actually, his entire head, now that I looked at it, is actually completely different. Now obviously he's got the repro label stickers on there, but you can see like how the blue comes over his the yellow eye bits. The entire head on here, from what I can tell, is a different mold. So that's really very cool. So that's really awesome that you're able to actually use this still, or use Laserbeak still, and I really do like it because it even gives up more spike bits on here. So honestly, I might actually keep Laserbeak with him just because I think it looks good. Now, I'm curious to know if this guy will fit on here. He should, because it's just a little peg bit, and then it just fits in there. Yeah, so that fits on there as well, if you really want to. It doesn't peg. It doesn't peg in there as well on this figure, and I noticed that as well with the new Beast Hunters one. It doesn't peg in nearly as good, so that does kind of suck. But I do really like that, and like I said, that's actually something that I might consider as a display option. But just for the purposes of this review, I'll go back to Ravage. But it is very cool that we're getting his drones, and like I was saying, with his head, you would have to like mod this or something to actually get it to stay up, but you can actually lift it up and kind of tuck his chin underneath Ravage's mouth here, so it actually keeps his head up a little bit better, which does really look cool. I do really like that, but it still is a little bit more weak. I guess if some people really wanted to, I don't think you can really replace these, but like the feet you could replace with the originals. You can swap that out. You might be able to swap out, because that just looks like a screw. Oh no, there's a pin right there. So the only thing that you easily could swap out would probably be his feet, if you really wanted to, I guess. But honestly, like I said, the color doesn't bug me all that much. I think it looks pretty cool. And then for his weapon, you have this. Now, honestly, I don't know what the hell is up with this. I'm not a big fan of it. You have these holes on his hand. You can peg this in there and you can have him hold that, but that looks really stupid. I'm not a fan of that. You could actually do it like this, and one thing that's kind of neat, when you peg it in there, it actually now makes his arm actually kind of straight, which you could do it on the outside there. You could peg it here on the outside of his wing arm thing, and I guess that looks a little bit better. But like I said, this is a very sensitive spring, so you do have to be careful with that. You could do that, I guess, and that looks a little bit better, I suppose. Him actually holding it in his hand is pretty crappy. And the hands are also still the soft rubber, or not rubber, but a softer plastic like the RID one, which that still sucks. But overall, very cool looking figure. I really dig this guy. All of these new RID, or not RID, these new Beast Hunter figures, I think look fantastic. I like the original versions of them, and these are just spiky and beastly looking, which is really very cool. It's something that honestly I didn't think I would like, that I'm really finding myself really actually enjoying, and I never thought I would. Now to transform it back, just rotate these bits up. Just gonna peg that on the side, just like so. Take these arms, rotate those in, and they just peg in on the side like that. Go and come around here to the head, fold this section back, fold the head up, well, rotate this bit out, fold the head back, and then push that down all the way. Kind of rotate these around. That'll tab into place. Rotate these around. That'll tab into place. These don't seem as secure as before, but it's not too bad. Loosen those up just like that. Kind of bring these around. Fold the feet up. You can fold out the landing gear here. Fold this section down. Fold this down. Now, I have noticed that tabbing these legs together is a little bit more of a pain, but they tab together exactly like the RID one. It's just they don't seem to line up nearly as good and push in as well. All right, push that in there. Just like that. Just like that. Rotate that around, and you can see that this section up here didn't go in, and see, you push one section and like the bottom section comes apart, but there we go. Get that up. Something like that, I guess, but again, see, it's you push the bottom and the top comes out, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to get these to stay together, but there you go. And then just rotate these peg in on the side right here. And here you have, well, the last bit is to take these, I guess. Like I said, this doesn't stay in all that good. It doesn't hold in nearly as well. You gotta really push that, and then rotate Ravage's legs down just like so. And here you have Soundwave back in his drone mode. One other really kind of cool thing is that if you really wanted to, Laserbeak can plug into this hole. Now, this is a hole that was carried over from the previous RID line figure, and all you have to do is just take that little peg thing here and just plug it in there, and then you can do whatever you want with these. You can put them up like so, you can angle them back. I mean, I just like flopping them all the way back here, and they kind of mesh well with the wings here that are on the back section here, but you can actually see that the color matches really nicely, and that's really very cool. The coloring on here is a really nice kind of swirly paint job as well. They're doing that with these new Beast Hunter figures, and it really kind of creates a unique figure for each person. As you can see, I mean, like right here, it's really swirly for it, and that's unique to my figure. Same thing with here. You got some swirls on there. No two figures really are exactly alike, and that's a really cool thing, and I really do like that. That adds an extra flair of collectability, I suppose, to it. Now, the bottom line, though, is really, is this figure I don't know what I'm talking about, but is this figure really worth double dipping and kind of buying, especially if you already have the RID one? Honestly, I really think he is. There's a lot that's different about it that really warrants picking this guy up. Now, whether or not he actually changes his form to look like this remains to be seen. We haven't seen Transformers Season 3 yet, and I mentioned previously that I got a theory about it, and my theory is that none of the Autobots or Decepticons are going to change shape. They're adding the Predacons to it, and that's going to be about it. But that's just a theory I have. I just don't think they're going to do it. But I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I do like the look, so it won't bother me. But that being said, I do highly recommend picking this guy up. He is a real nice update to that original RID figure, a mold that I already really liked, and this just looks more badass. Like I said, it really does kind of give me a bird-looking feel to it, and I really do dig that. So far, all these first wave RID remolded figures into the Beast Hunters thing really really are working for me. Now, if you want to pick this guy up and you can't find him in retails, the best place to do it would be Big Bad Toy Store. Go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go there and you'll be able to buy this guy, or you can buy the entire first wave of Beast Hunter figures from the deluxe wave. But that's about it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as upcoming videos all at facebook.com/teambotimus and twitter.com/Optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.
When the going gets rough.